Hey there, Trina Lane here. Guess what? It's seed planting day and I'm so excited. This is really one of my favorite days of gardening. Putting the seeds in the ground and then the anticipation of waiting for everything to pop up. I wanted to show you what I had to work on this morning, which was my schematic. My last video I told you that I would have to sit down and lay out the garden. Well, that's what I did. It took me about 2 hours because I have to decide what plants I'm gonna plant where, what plants I'm gonna plant with the other plants, what plants I can't plant there. And then I know how my sun hits the garden, and so I have to make sure that I don't have things that are shading vegetables that need the most sun. So it's a bit of a process, but once you get it done, you're ready to go. So now I am going to start planting. I wanted to show you, this is my gardening book that I use. You can find it on Amazon. And it has different information where you list where you plant your plant, what kind of plant it is, how long it takes for it to come up, that kind of thing. Okay, and this right here is my seed box. And I keep it is full of seeds. All of my seeds, when I order new, I keep them separated, and I have them separated and ready to plant. So now it's time to plant. All right, I'm ready to plant some lettuce. So what I do, I take little tiny lines in the soil because you only plant it like 1/8 of an inch. And I make little tiny lines in my soil. I'm gonna do 4 rows in this bed, in this side of the bed right here. I'll have about 8 rows of lettuce in these beds. And so what I'll do, then I just start to sprinkle my seeds in the soil. And I sprinkle them in the row that I'm putting them in. You don't have to thin lettuce seeds out, they're gonna come up. You can if you want to, but I do it for continuous feed. As you want your lettuce, you cut it, and then you come again and you cut some more. So that's what I do on my lettuce. All right, I've moved on. I've got my lettuce planted, and now I've moved on to one of my larger beds. This bed has a trellis, so I try to I'm planting cucumbers on this side of the trellis. The other side will have tomatoes. I try to work, my sun comes from this way, and so I try to plant where things don't get shaded, or the things that do get shaded, that need shade, get shaded. So I'm going to plant carrots around the edge of this bed. And when you plant carrots, the seeds are so very tiny. A lot of people take the time to use a little, I don't know what it's called, but you pick up each individual seed and place them when they're so tiny. I don't do that. I just make a line and I sprinkle my carrots. So that's what I'll do around this bed, and then I'll proceed on with my other beds and continue on planting. I wanted to show you just how small these carrot seeds are. I mean, they are very, very teeny tiny. Carrots have to be thinned, and so I just plant them and then I will thin them to a couple of inches apart. I have no idea how many will come up. You just always pull the ones that are the smallest and you leave the biggest ones, and then you end up with carrots all the way around that are 2 inches apart. All right, so I'm gonna plant these. Okay, so I have my cucumbers planted and I have my carrots planted in this bed, and now I'm gonna plant bush beans in the middle. Let me show you what the bush beans look like. So here's the beans, and they're much bigger, just like the bean from the inside of the pot. So what I do now, I will take my finger and poke it down in the hole every 2 inches. I do them about 2 inches apart. A lot of people say space them out. The more plants you put in the bed, in my opinion, the better. So I'll space them out 2 inches apart, and I'll drop 1/4 of an inch down in the hole, maybe 1/2 of an inch on these beans, and cover them up. Okay, that's on the bush beans. When you start planting, you kind of learn how far apart to space. This bed is it's between 3 and 4 feet wide. So I plant, I don't know, I'll plant 2 rows of beans in this bed because I have cucumbers on that end and I have carrots on this end. Well, I have carrots all the way around. So I'm going to plant 2 rows. And what I do, I start out by just making holes, indentations, just like this, all the way down the bed. And then I drop my beam right in the hole. Okay. Okay, so I have planted 5 beds so far and I have 4 left to go. I wanted to just show you this bed. I have it ready for where the seeds are going to go. So like the green is going to be for zucchini and squash. I have 2 reds on either, 1 red on either end. That's for tomato plants. They'll grow taller than that, but for now that will help them get established. On the back side, I'm planting spaghetti squash. I have tall trellises that you can barely see, but you might be able to pick them up, that they'll go on. And I'm also on this end right here, I'm gonna have peppers. So when you start researching on what you can plant where, you can cram beds pretty full. These beds are 11 feet long, 11 feet long, and they're 2.5 feet wide, but you can fit a lot of stuff in them. So just wanted you to see that, and then I'm gonna proceed on planting. Okay, you guys, 3 hours later, all of my seeds are in. I'm watering everything in. I'm so excited. This is my favorite time, planting these seeds. It takes some time, but getting them in, every seed, I ask the Lord to bless it. I say, Lord, please bless this seed. He always does. And so I'm excited to show you on my next video what he does. I expect in a few days to see germination and everything popping in. I'm watering in right now, and that's it for today. So stay tuned for my next video. I'll be showing you what God's doing in my garden. All right, until next time, I'm Trina Lane.